Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 12, Episode 15, Disco Inferno. Well, we pick up this week right where we left off last week at the homeless, not toothless, charity gala. Am I the only one who thinks gala may be a bit of a stretch? Like, do you think they told Melissa Etheridge, you'll be performing at a gala for charity? And she said, oh, of course, I'll do it for charity. And then she rolls up to this house. She's told to wait quietly upstairs in Jagger's bedroom, probably, while the adults downstairs are screaming obscenities at each other. You just know that when that party planner came down and whispered to Dorit, she's ready now, that Melissa Etheridge was at her wits' end. She's probably like, first of all, this is not a gala. I'm performing at a housewives' dinner, basically. And then I'm hidden upstairs like Anne Frank, quiet as a church mouse, while they're screaming at each other. No. I go on now or I go home. Anyway, the ladies are comforting Rinna. Kyle is blotting her eyes, even though several of you guys told me in the comments that there was not a single tear actually shed. Oh, geez, I guess it's also Kyle's birthday, because now we all get to sing happy birthday. Asher, where is Asher? Asher missed the opportunity to duet with Melissa Etheridge, and now he's missing the opportunity to sing happy birthday. But yeah, it's Kyle's birthday. No wonder Kyle was acting like, oh, no way, no way. She thought Melissa Etheridge was there for her birthday, I bet. Right? Forget homeless, not toothless. Okay, so the men are outside by the pool talking. Careful, fellas. Dwight's out there, too. We saw what he did to Ken. And PK starts talking shop, I guess. He's starting a new business. This is very confusing. But as far as I can tell, it sounds like PK is starting a new real estate company that is crypto-based. Blockchain? I don't know. It sounded like PK really doesn't know what it is either. And he's just kind of throwing out all these buzzwords. Because the second Rob Minkoff asked one single question, PK was like, I can't tell you or I'll have to kill you. Yeah, you can't tell him because you don't understand it either. I mean, honestly, it sounded to me like he was wanting Rob Minkoff to invest in his business. I'm not sure. I could be reading into that. But anyway, then PK tells Mauricio, you might be the king of real estate, but make room for the emperor. Mauricio, of what? You know, Mauricio might not be as smart as I gave him credit for last week. Just saying. PK goes, real estate? Mauricio, oh, I thought you were the king of rock. I don't think anybody thought PK was the king of rock. First of all, isn't that Elvis Presley? Wasn't he supposed to be the king of rock and roll? Even if Elvis got dethroned, it wasn't by PK. I'm pretty sure of that. Anyway, inside, Rinna is thanking everybody for being there for me in this moment. Yeah. Side note, I totally forgot that Britt and Sydney Grossman were still there. And guys, this is pretty much the look they had on their faces all night. I mean, I guess with Melissa Etheridge gone, everyone's just there for the Housewives show now, right? I know I wouldn't leave. Oh my God. Okay, so Rinna is saying, you know, it wasn't about Sutton. There's deeper stuff going on. And Kyle said, so what's deeper? Garcelle now turns to the Grossman girls and says, I think you guys can get up. Yeah. I can't believe she said that. I mean, maybe she did because Britt looks like she's ready to kill somebody. She has resting terrorist face. So Sutton kind of piggybacks off of Garcelle and she goes, do you guys want to leave? And then Dorit said, we're not saying you have to leave. We're just saying you can. Well, the second that was said, Dr. Sala's wife was up and out of there. I should say that earlier, when they showed her face, she looked very bored. Like, you know, somebody who doesn't watch Housewives. So this was like a show she wasn't interested in. Now, I did not see the Grossman girls leave, so at this point it is unclear whether or not they are still there just off camera, because you know Teddy is still there. In this case, Teddy had to be even further off camera on the other side of the Grossman girls. If you guys didn't see last week, Britt and Sydney Grossman are the daughters of Alan Grossman, I think his name is, who founded Homeless Not Toothless. And he was sorry he couldn't be there, but he sent his daughters in his place. So I'm just calling them the Grossman girls to kind of save time. So anyway, Crystal starts first by saying, I'd like to say something. Rinna and Diana came over to my house and I talked to Sutton. And they told me that at the wine party, you were talking about my eating disorder. And you all seemed to think that I had never received help, but I've been getting help since I was 13 years old. Kyle's like, oh, well, maybe you're not seeing the right people. And Crystal said, well, you know, just this morning I was on the phone for hours interviewing people and I got some names from Lisa for some very specific things. So she's like, yeah, I'm on it. And Garcelle goes, good. Anything else we need to clear up? Sutton, well, I had a very bad day Saturday, which was the day of Rinna's wine tasting party. I didn't like being called a friend with liabilities. I think I am a very good friend. But there is something that happened to me that I haven't told y'all about. Okay. Then she says, speaking of friendships with liabilities. Okay, here we go. Hold on tight, Erika. I did get a call from an attorney about one of the lawsuits that Tom and Erika are involved in. And Rinna and Kyle are both like, why? As a witness? And Sutton said, the attorney thought I had information. And Erika goes, in Sutton's confessional, she said, I received a letter from an attorney asking for information that I don't have. I'm not getting subpoenaed. I'm not going to Chicago. I'm not going to Chicago. Not that there's anything wrong with Chicago. It's a nice town and all. So Kyle goes, did you get a subpoena? And Sutton goes, it wasn't a subpoena yet. I hired an attorney to answer questions for me. Again, in Sutton's confessional, she said, and hiring an attorney is not cheap. You know who knows that? The Girardis. So back at the table, Erika's like, I know what they're going to ask you. Then we get a flashback to last year's reunion.
Sutton, you said that one of Tom's former partners left the firm because of shady business practices.
That was a rumor that I had heard.
Erika, you said that shit. Sutton, what I've learned is that Erika has a lot of lawsuits in front of her. Erika, yeah, I do. Sutton, you were a liability to all of us last year. Why only last year? Isn't she like kind of still a liability for like as long as you hang out with her? I don't know. Anyway, Sutton's like, that's why you are a liability, not me. Erika, that's not my fault. That's why I told you to be quiet. Jesus. I hope the Grossmans are still there because this is a good show. Sutton, no, you didn't. Dorit, do you feel that the only reason they came after you and nobody else in this group is because you were the only one questioning Erika? And Garcelle goes, she wasn't the only one. Then Bravo puts together a nice little montage of everybody basically questioning Erika at the time.
Did you guys share everything, like in terms of both on the house, both on finances?
All of that is kept very far away from me. Holy shit, when you're reading about the victims and the orphans and the way, that's very hard to digest. How do you think I feel?
Everybody was like, wait, right, do you know where that money's coming from? Was that a loan? Was that over time?
Right.
That
so
was the biggest
that's
question.
another question as well.
Dorit, Kyle, Garcelle. Garcelle goes, and I'm not being her bodyguard. Diana, can I just say something? I think of all of the women here that you're the most guarded one. And Garcelle's like, how did we get from liabilities to lawyers to me? Diana, that's where it started, no? Everyone's like, no. Garcelle didn't say a word yet. So she's frustrated and she's like, what do you want to know, Diana? Diana, I really, really like you, but I feel like for your friendship, I had to work extra hard and I got nowhere. And then I thought, well, why am I doing this if she's shutting me down? My God, Diana, give me one example of you working very hard to earn Garcelle's friendship. Just one. Garcelle reminds her that when she came to say goodbye to her at her Christmas party, Diana told her that, I think we got off on the wrong foot, and Garcelle agreed. And Garcelle said, I was very open during that conversation. Diana goes, yeah, but I haven't seen you since. So what are you upset about? Garcelle goes, I haven't seen you since either. Anyway, in Garcelle's confessional, she basically says what I did, which is, when has she tried to get to know me? She trashes me in a group text. She comes to my birthday party, and she's a total bitch. Garcelle's like, Google me if you want to know about me. Google me. So, there's some quiet because Diana really has nothing to say. And then Rinna says to Garcelle, do you hear her? Garcelle looks confused. Rinna goes, do you hear where she's coming from? And Garcelle's like, what do you hear? Kathy snickers. Tell me what you hear, Rinna. Rinna, I think she's in pain. Well, could someone tell Diana's face she's in pain? Because she's laughing right now. Even if she wasn't laughing, you will never be able to convince me that Diana gives a shit whether she's friends with Garcelle or not. I mean, maybe to quell the rumors of her being a racist or something, but other than that, she has no need for Garcelle in her life. Anyway, Diana says to Garcelle, I would just like to know you better, differently. And Garcelle said, I would like to know you better differently too, Diana. And they kind of smile at each other. And then Garcelle says, how do you feel about that, Rinna? Love it. Rinna, I feel good about it, Garcelle. But why did you have to say it like that? Because you just poked your nose into business that doesn't concern you. Maybe that's why. Garcelle's like, because you said it to me. Why didn't you say to Diana, do you hear, Garcelle? And Rinna goes, because you seem defensive. Why are you defensive? Garcelle, you tell me, Rinna, you seem to know everything. Rinna takes a moment. Personally, I would love a tight shot of the Grossman girls' faces. I'm kind of missing their anger and disappointment. Anyway, Rinna finally says, fear. Garcelle, what am I fearful of? Rinna, well, that's a question you have to ask yourself, Garcelle. Right. She's got to ask herself. I don't know what she's afraid of. Only she knows. But I do know it's fear. I think we all have fear. Erika, amen. Oh, really? What are you afraid of? The creature from the Black Lagoon? Honestly, those sliding doors are about 2 feet from the pool. So I actually do understand Erika's fear. Anything could come out of that water and just slither right into her bedroom. Anyway, Rinna continues by saying, I think when you come from love, then you don't come from that defensive place. Garcelle, you're telling me about coming from love? Yeah, I am. Garcelle, bullshit. Just once, I would like somebody to say, oh, you know what? Garcelle is right. I say it all the time, Garcelle. Those of us out here, out in the real world, we're all saying it. So Kathy goes, Garcelle, you are right. I can't be. And then Garcelle goes, no, you know what? It's not about being right. Kyle goes, you just want to feel supported. And Garcelle's like, yeah. So Kyle goes, I don't know what's happening right now, but I totally support Garcelle. Yeah, that's what Garcelle needs. Anyway, that made Crystal and Diana laugh, but not Erika. No, sir. She's Rinna's ride or die, so she's not going to think it's funny. She did not give an entire smile or even a half smile. Okay, it is the next day, and we are at Crystal and Rob's house. They are in the kitchen having a conversation. Side note, have we ever seen any other part? Like, I'm sure their house is enormous. I've seen the outside of it. But have they ever filmed anywhere but the kitchen or outside? Oh, that basement project, right? That pizza oven is taking a long time to build, isn't it? Anyway, so Rob asks Crystal, so how was last night for you? Because for me, I was being pitched the idea of a real estate company that only uses crypto. She said it was good, obviously. Then Rinna started screaming, but then she tells him that she brought up her eating disorder because all the ladies were talking about it at the wine tasting. And Rob said, why were all the ladies talking about it? And Krista said, well, because of my post a couple months ago. So Rob said that, yeah, he was actually very surprised that she posted that because in the past, she's just been very quiet about it and kind of, keeping it all inside. So then then Crystal said, this group wants me to get help, but I don't want them to put a timeline on me. This scene was tough because, you could feel Crystal's pain, but even more than that, I could feel Crystal's panic. I know that feeling. This has always been how mental illness has been viewed as opposed to physical illness. It's always been like people are sympathetic at first, but then if you're not getting better fast enough, it's like friends, family, they mean well, but then I think they just get a little tired of it and want to know why you're not better. What do you have to be depressed about? Have you guys ever heard that one before? So it's tough. And what you do is you end up just not talking about it because it's easier that way. So this kind of panic feeling that I feel like Crystal has about you better get better so that all your friends can feel better. I know that feeling. So I feel for her, I guess is what I'm saying. Anyway, it's a tender scene with Rob comforting her. She's crying. And then Kathy Hilton just walks into the kitchen. She's coming down the hall. Hello. I mean, I hope they know she's coming. Anyway, Crystal's like, sorry, I don't know if you could tell, I was just crying. Kathy goes, oh no, why? And she said, about my eating disorder. And so Kathy said, the girls all love you. I know that they're coming from a good place. But we're not doctors or therapists or anything. And I don't think you should feel pressure to answer all the questions. Wow. Insightful, sensitive Kathy Hilton in the house. And oh no. Not so much. The next thing out of her mouth is, do you have a cracker? So much of an abrupt 180 that Crystal was just smiling at her until it registered what Kathy actually said. She goes, oh yeah, sure. And then Rob goes, oh, you know what? We just got this beautiful gift basket yesterday. So I'm sure there's something in here. How about almonds? Kathy's like, anything, just something to eat. So Crystal gives her like this fancy box of crackers that were in there, and Rob opens the bag of almonds for her. They're running around. Rob's like, are you a blue cheese girl? No. He's like, okay, Gouda? Sure. Then she goes, do you have a Diet Coke anywhere? And he's like, oh yeah, sure. Runs to the fridge. And then that scene ends. I was thinking maybe she was the first woman to arrive. Maybe Crystal's having all the ladies over. No. It was just Kathy, so then was there supposed to be like more to that scene, or was there a reason she came over? Doesn't seem to be. I don't know, maybe it was something that got cut, but we may never know. We're just going to have to live with that, people. Because now it's nighttime and we are at Kyle and Mauricio's house. It's just like, I guess, a family birthday party for Kyle, and all the girls are in leopard print pajamas for some reason, just the girls. Kyle's, opening gifts. There was a beautiful bottle of champagne that she got from Garcelle. Beautiful arrangement of flowers from Kris Jenner. And, she opens a pair of roller skates from one of her daughters, I think. They're kind of cool. They're like a pink, like a pearly iridescent finish. And she puts them on right away. And then we get a bizarre story about her childhood where she used to be like a roller skating champion. I don't know. She would roller skate with the Jackson 5 and the kids from Different Strokes and Facts of Life. What a weird childhood she must have had. I am so nervous because Kyle is roller skating all around the house, and that new little puppy is like chasing right after her, and I'm just waiting for, a little paw to get rolled over. Nothing really much else. Farrah says she's not going to be a bridezilla. They have Joe's Crab Shack for dinner. It was boring. Next, we are at a lunch with Rinna and Erika. Rinna, yet again, says, I really didn't expect to break down at the gala. But I did, I think it was good that I did. Yeah, I'm sure Melissa Etheridge loved it. Oh, she's like, I needed to get it out. And she learned that Sutton is a real trigger for her. Erika's like, Rinna, I guess for you too, huh? Yeah, we have that in common. We don't like Sutton. Neither does Diana. Anyway, then Rinna goes, yeah, why did Sutton have to say that about that letter she received after my breakdown? You want her to just keep talking about your breakdown? Is that what you mean? The floor was open to getting into deeper conversations. That was you, by the way, Rinna, that said it goes much deeper. Now she's like, I don't know why she brought that up. Even Erika understood why she brought it up. Well, she said why. She said, you called me a liability when actually you're the liability. Yes, that's exactly right. Then Erika goes, listen, she was contacted by an attorney, chose not to tell me, and then threw it out there in a public forum. Rinna, because that's what she does. Time out. That's what you all do. In fact, that could be the motto of the show. Save the juicy stuff for the cameras. You all do it. Then they agree that Sutton sometimes is really fun, but then she flips. So I guess you just want her to be really fun all the time, like even when you're coming after her. Still want her to be really fun. Anyway, Rinna mentions that she's having the Rinna Beauty 70s disco themed launch party. It's another launch party because she's making up for the one that was just in Crystal's backyard because of the pandemic. They couldn't rent a venue and all that. So she's kind of redoing the launch, except that now there's a new variant. And so it still has to be a small event. So I don't know if that means we're going to have to endure another Rinna Beauty launch party sometime in the future. I don't know. Anyway, Erika's looking forward to it, and she goes, we deserve to have fun. Rinna, we do. We need some fun, especially after I've torn everybody. And you know she was going to say a new one, right? Erika goes, you didn't tear anybody down. Rinna, well, I have been a little hard on Sutton. And next we are at Mr. C with Kyle and Sutton. Kyle has a $16,000 blue Birkin. Given that it's only $16,000, I'm pretty sure there is no diamond clasp. Let me see the clasp on your purse, Kyle. Oh, it doesn't have a diamond? That must be why you look poor. So anyway, they order the drinks, and Kyle says, so you really threw everybody for a loop with that comment about Erika. And Sutton goes, you know, it wasn't about the legality stuff. It was about calling me a liability as a friend. The fact that she used that word is ironic and hypocritical. So Kyle's now trying to get the details of what this letter from the attorney said. And Sutton says, well, they wanted to call me as a third-party witness. And Kyle goes, for the prosecution? No, it was Erika's attorneys that called her. Oh, God. Anyway, Sutton actually wouldn't answer that because she said, you know what? Lots of different lawsuits are happening here, and I don't want to say anything more because I am not involved. Yes, we know you're not going to go to Chicago. Anyway, Sutton says, there is a woman in our group that puts us all in a bad position, and y'all don't want to talk about it. Y'all defend her. Kyle, first of all, why do I feel like you're getting defensive with me right now? Anyway, they kind of joke their way out of that tension. Sutton ends up saying that she's got a date after this, and she goes, and he's kind of cute. Oh, dear Lord, I beg you not to talk about your physical ailments. Please, Sutton. Especially if he's cute and you think there might be a future here. That is not first date conversation. So Kyle says, are you sure you want to wear like expensive jewelry on these dates? Like, don't you want to look a little poor? Sutton goes, this is poor. Kyle bursts out laughing. Sutton goes, this is subtle. Anyway, Sutton's like, well, I want them to know the real me. And she goes, I'm difficult. I know I'm difficult. And Kyle said something about, well, you get in arguments or something like that. And she said, I like to debate and I like to be right. All right, folks, hide your wallets. We are heading to Erika's neighborhood. She's getting her hair and makeup done for Rinna's 70s disco themed party. Erika's inspo is Jerry Hall. I mean, you know, not a huge stretch, right? They're tall blondes from the South. Jerry Hall's from the South, right? Oh, I just went through a little rabbit hole there for a minute, guys. I was looking up Jerry Hall, where she's from. It's Texas. But I forgot she was married to Rupert Murdoch. They married in 2016. How do you go from Mick Jagger to Rupert Murdoch? Like, she definitely doesn't have a type, does she? Well, here's how she does it. Rupert Murdoch, as of March 2nd, 2022, is worth $21.7 billion. Now, Here's where it gets interesting. I just happened to look up Jerry Hall because I wanted to see where she was from, if she was Southern or not. And then this information comes up, and coincidentally enough, 2 days ago, now by the time you're seeing this, it'll be like a week ago, she filed for divorce. Yeah, she just filed for divorce. And I gotta tell you guys, I am connecting the dots here, and tell me you are too. Erika Jayne just might be manifesting something for herself with this Jerry Hall look she's going for. I never thought her next marriage would be to someone that makes, Tom look young, but Rupert is a very spry, 91 years young. So yeah, I mean, he's kind of right up her alley. And he can afford to clean the goddamn pool. I'm just saying, like, she will be having sparkling clear aqua waters in that pool in no time. I know what I said last week, but I actually do hope she's having a lot of sex right now because, if you've got your sights on Rupert Murdoch, I mean, I don't know. Maybe just get it all out of your system now. We check in at Kyle's house with her and her glam team, and surprise, surprise, the new puppy is eating cardboard. Apparently no crudité nearby. At Dorit's house, she's lacing up her roller skates. So I guess this is like a roller skating party. Because although I thought Kyle got those skates for her birthday. Maybe she did, but it was for this party. Anyway, PK hates the idea of her getting on these skates. He's like, "You're not serious, babe. You'll break your neck. This is a bad idea." Phoenix is there, by the way, helping her. And Dorit says, "See, he won't even give me a vote of confidence." Phoenix is so cute. "Daddy, I'm here to help her. But you won't be at the party to help her, honey." Dorit, "No, I'm not going to wear them to the party." And now I'm confused. Does she mean she's not going to wear them into the party? She'll change there? Or she's not bringing them to the party? Then why do you have roller skates? Why has everybody got new roller skates? Anyway, PK's like, "Well, then sit down. You don't need to hurt yourself." Phoenix, "No." PK, "Phoenix, Daddy's in charge." Then Phoenix says, "Daddy, if she breaks her neck, it will be your fault because you made her less confident." That is both an adorable and low-key psychotic thing to say to someone. If she breaks her neck, it'll be your fault. Out of the mouths of babes, huh? Okay, we're at the party venue, and Rinna is in a black and gold tiger print lame catsuit. So not only is she celebrating Rinna beauty, but she's also honoring the black and gold theme of the Homeless Not Toothless charity gala. Her business partner is showing her around. She loves all the decorations, and then she gets over to the bar, and there's two girls standing behind the bar. And this is where things go south a little bit. First of all, the bar menu is insane. Like, created by an actual insane person. The first two drinks are way overly complicated, and the last two are kind of oversimplified. For example, here's the first drink, a purple pucker. This is butterfly pea flower. What the hell? Infused TSL Blanco, lavender yuzu, pineapple, lemongrass, Thai spices, and then the purple color is a garnish with dehydrated pineapple and Szechuan buzz button edible flowers. What the hell? Are any of those things you can drink? They all sound like solids to me. And they don't all sound like food either, by the way. Here's the next drink, Life's a Peach. I love peach. Let's see what this is. The Smoke Label Reposado, Aperol, Lime Ginger, Fresh Peach, and Passion Fruit. The peach color is a garnish with dehydrated lime wheel and purple, yellow, edible violas dusted with edible glitter. Okay, so those are the first two drinks that require at least a good 20-25 minutes to read before you order. The final two drinks are the Jet Setter, Belvedere Vodka and Tonic. And finally, All the Glitters. Ooh, that sounds fancy. What is it? Champagne. Just champagne. Who created this menu? So anyway, Rinna reads it. Well, no, she doesn't. Here's the thing. She's looking at the first two. She doesn't have time to read all that. Also, she doesn't have her glasses on, right? So she just skips to the third one because that she can read. Belvedere and tonic. So that's what she orders, and she said with lime. Well, first she learns that the two girls standing behind the bar, oddly enough, not the bartenders. No, the bartenders aren't there yet. So the two girls standing behind the bar doing nothing but standing behind the bar, don't know what they were. I mean, they were there reporting for duty, but in the wrong place. So that was the first thing. Then the one girl tells her that those first two drinks are pre-batched. So basically, when the bartender does get there, all he has to do is pour some Belvedere and tonic and champagne. That's it. The other two drinks are like already, mixed in a jug somewhere. But here's what really bothers Rinna. Oh, I want real limes and real lemons. I don't do that dehydrated. Okay. Did anybody run this past her before the party? Like, why is she only finding out what the 4 drinks are that are being served at her party now? Why is she just finding that out now when she clearly doesn't even like 2 of the 4 drinks? Plus, I gotta tell you something. I think the dehydrated is already like inside the ice cubes, because at least that's what it looked like later in a later scene. I don't know. Why am I talking about this so much? Anyway, the ladies start to arrive. Cherie is back. She's out of quarantine. She's in a very cute, gold lame scarf and jumpsuit. Sutton and Crystal are there now. Garcelle shows up and, she's wearing that granny blanket that Dorinda and her daughter wore like 2-3 seasons ago. I mean, I think it's kind of funny and cool. Nothing about that says 70s disco. So I'm not sure about that. But she did get it right with the go-go boots and the afro. That's cute. Then we see a pic of Garcelle in 1983 in New York City. She's modeling. That girl's got legs for freaking days. What a cool picture. Oh, I forgot to mention that there's also a photo booth there. And now all the ladies are fighting to, jockeying for position to get in this group photo. Everyone's like, bend down lower. They can't see my face. Don't block my hair. Okay. Guys, this seems like the perfect party to be like the season finale, but no, it is not. Kyle now just tells all the ladies that she is inviting them to her home in Aspen. Yeah, it's a final trip. Oh, well, not so much her home, but Aspen at least. She's telling everybody that her home is too small to accommodate everyone. Let me guess. Sutton, Garcelle, Cherie, Crystal, maybe. You guys will be in a nearby hotel. How much you want to bet that's how it shakes out? What she actually says is there's a nearby house that everybody else can stay in, and it's like 10 minutes away. And Rinna goes, I want to stay at your house, Kyle. I want a room with a door that locks. And Kathy goes, what, are you afraid of me? No, not you. I'm not afraid of you. I didn't get this until just now, you guys. I thought she was being weird. I didn't understand it. That was a dig at Sutton for walking in on Crystal. Oh my God. Rinna is the worst. She is the worst. Now I'm wondering if Garcelle caught that, because Garcelle, I thought it was hilarious. Garcelle just goes, I'll stay at the other house. And I was laughing, but now I wonder if Garcelle said that because of Rinna's nasty comment. Maybe, but as soon as she said it, like, Sutton and Crystal are like, what? Then Diana goes, I'm staying at the hotel. And Dorit goes, no, you're not going to stay at a hotel. Yeah, I am. She tells us in her confessional, I can be very demanding. And, it's just better all around. I just think it's less stressful for everybody. I'm a good hostess, but I'm a very demanding guest. I mean, it's not better for everyone. I'm sure the staff at whatever hotel you're staying at don't think it's less stressful. Or your employees that have to sweep the room like they're Secret Service. Oh, guys, wouldn't it be funny if nobody wanted to stay at Kyle's? Oh, that would be hilarious. I mean, I know Rinna said she did, but wouldn't it be funny then if everybody else was like, we'll stay at the other house? Oh, okay, now we have a couple of Saturday Night Fever dancers, Forrest and Victoria, who just come out and, start dancing on the dance floor. Kathy Magoo. What's this now? You know, she knows. It's like, I don't know. Do you ever wonder what it would be like to just float through life like Kathy Hilton, never really knowing what's going on, almost like you're new to the planet and everything is new and you have so many questions about it all. It's a world of wonder. Anyway, people are up dancing and they're doing some like line dancing and stuff like that. And then they sit back down. Something weird is transpiring between Kathy, Garcelle, and Cherie. And they're almost being cryptic in the way they're saying things. So I don't know what it is. Cherie's just like, let me know and we'll coordinate a date. So I don't know what it was. Maybe it's Kathy going on the reel. Maybe they weren't sure if this was going to air before she was on or something. Because then she does say that last night Rick got in bed and he said, "Are you going to do Garcelle's show tomorrow?" Then they're asking her about her long marriage and Rick's a good Catholic boy and his parents have been married a long time. I'm confused. And honestly, it wasn't that interesting. So I kind of zoned out. Meanwhile, Kyle is asking Sutton how she's feeling after they last talked. And Kathy pops up and she's like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And Sutton said, "Well, we're just talking about the conversation at Dorit's house." Then this like little dessert comes around and Kyle goes, "Oh, I'm going to have one of those." And she grabs it. Kathy goes, "Wait, are we going out tonight?" He said, "Aren't you out already?" I thought this was at night. And Kyle goes, "Let her finish her story." I don't know that Sutton really had a story. Like, Kyle asked her a question. It wasn't that big of a deal. So Kathy goes, "Well, I was just wondering because you're filling your trap." So I guess they had planned to go out to eat after this disco thing. Kyle, "Let her talk, Kathy. It's important." Now, maybe Kyle was annoyed that on camera, Kathy had pointed out that Kyle was filling her trap. So, I mean, maybe, but I mean, she really barked at her sister for no reason. Sutton wasn't about to tell this very like dramatic story or something. Literally, all that happened was she said, "So how you feeling after we talked?" I don't know. So anyway, now Kathy's a little offended that she said, "Let her talk, Kathy. It's important." So Kathy goes, "Okay." And she turns and walks away. Kyle, what just happened to her? Is she okay? I don't know. Maybe because you snapped at her like a little child. So again, Sutton says that she didn't like that Erika called her a liability as a friend. Okay, that was the important thing that Kathy couldn't interrupt. I am far more interested in where they're going after this. So anyway, Kyle said, "I don't even know what that means. Like, what did she mean by saying that?" And Sutton goes, "I don't know." And Kyle goes, "Ask her." Kyle, "Erika, what did that mean saying that Sutton was a liability?" Erika, without skipping a beat, almost like she was waiting for this question. Maybe they had to refilm it twice. I don't know, but the answer came awfully quick. "What did you mean? Sutton was a liability." Erika, "Hindrance to Garcelle, making friends with the rest of the group." Sutton, "Am I a hindrance to you?" Garcelle, "No, not at all." Kyle, "So you're saying that their relationship, Garcelle and Sutton, is keeping us from getting closer to Garcelle?" Erika, "Yes. Instead of you seeing me for me, you're going to see me through those eyes." Pointing at Sutton. Garcelle, "Well, you can't treat me well and treat my friend bad and have me be okay with you." Of course, and the same holds for everybody else. So now Dorit says to Sutton, "At my homeless, not toothless, star-studded gala event, you said, 'Erika, you have a lot of lawsuits.' That was below the belt." Rinna, "That was fucking mean." "Yeah, it was." Sutton, "No, it wasn't." Rinna, "Yes, it was. Don't play dumb." "Don't do it." Sutton, "It's aggressive." Rinna, "Who cares if I'm aggressive? I'm not trying to have your back right now." And Sutton goes, "Well, you never have my back." Rinna, "Have your own fucking back, Sutton Strack." I wasn't even trying to rhyme there. It just came out. I'm a poet and I don't know it. So Kyle's trying to get back on track. She goes, "So after we had dinner at Dorit's house," Kathy, "at the Homeless and Toothless Foundation, Now, of course, this gets some other people to snicker a little. Garcelle and Kyle goes, "It's not toothless and homeless." Dorit, "This is a really important charity, Kathy." Kathy goes, "What?" Dorit, "Homeless, not toothless." Kathy, "Homeless, not toothless." Dorit, "Yes." And Garcelle's like, "What did I do?" "You're laughing." Garcelle, "Hey, Kathy, she's funny." Kyle goes, "The name's not great, but it's a great charity." Dorit, "They do amazing work." Kyle, "We're getting off track. Forget about the toothless, not homeless charity." Crystal, "Homeless, not toothless." Erika, the same thing. "Homeless, not toothless." She's like, "What did I say? You said toothless, not homeless." Kathy can see that Dorit's upset, and she goes, "Honey, I'm sorry. I have worked with the homeless. I have worked with the toothless." I swear she said that. "I have worked with the toothless." Oh, God. Now even Erika, who's sitting right next to Dorit, has to put her head down to keep from laughing. I don't know how Dorit didn't laugh. And also, I'm going to say this. Here's my hot take on that. I think Mr. Grossman and the Grossman girls knew exactly what they were doing when they named it this crazy, insane name that honestly sounds offensive to me. I think it's offensive to call someone toothless because they can't afford dental care. They might need cleanings. They might need, a bridge or replacement or dentures. But to say you're toothless, they're not all toothless. I think the name is offensive and stupid, but I think that Dr. Grossman, he's not just a one-man sperm bank. He knows. Think about this for a second. How many times have we mentioned the name of that charity? Yeah, definitely. Even if it's to say it's obnoxious and I hate the name, people are talking about it and people will remember it. Even if they misremember, if they just get the toothless and homeless words in there and Google that, you'll probably find the charity. So don't be feeling sorry for this charity. I think this was the best thing that ever happened to them. Anyway, Kyle gets it back on track. Kyle says to Rinna, "After that night, I thought that you and Sutton had a moment, but then you have this very strong opinion of her." Rinna, "I do." Sutton, "That's great, Lisa." In her confessional, she's like, "How many times is Lisa gonna forgive me and then act like this again?" Rinna goes, "Yeah, I get it. Will things work out for Sutton and myself? I know they will. But if I come across and say I love someone one minute and then the next I'm angry at them, I'm going to cut myself some slack on that right now. Because I think I have every right to do that because I'm trying to work out grief." No, you're wrong, Lisa. Nothing gives you that right. And certainly not to direct it all at one person. If you're racked with grief, and I'm not saying you aren't, but if you are racked with grief of the loss of your mother, you would be kind of snapping at everybody. This is just Sutton. And you forgive her, and then you go after her again, and then you forgive her and you attack her. If ever there was a perfect opportunity to say, "Let the mouse go," it would be right now because that's exactly what you're doing. You're toying with her like a cat with a half-dead mouse. Kind of let it think it's getting away, and then you go in and grab it again. It's cruel. That's what it is. And your grief over the loss of your mother doesn't give you a right to be cruel. How many times have you, for no reason, lashed out at Erika or Dorit? I'm going to guess none. Look, everyone deals with grief in their own way, and I would never presume to tell somebody how to grieve, but I know it doesn't give you the right to hurt somebody. And how many times have we seen Lisa Rinna laugh to one of her friends at how mean she's being to Sutton? She loves it. That's cruel. I'm sorry, but that speaks to your character. So yeah, you're mean. And yeah, Sutton is weird. She just is. I don't think I even knew how weird she was until this season. She is awkward and weird. Now, she's like comparing herself to a colt. Kyle's like, "What's that?" And she goes, "It's a baby horse." Kyle, "Oh, a colt." I don't even know how Sutton pronounced it. Anyway, you know, Sutton's allies, like Crystal is kind of looking at her like, don't be weird right now. Like, just be more succinct, say what you need. But she's like, I just want to make sure that everybody understands that I was making a point. I should have said, hang on. Okay, now she does this pause where she's trying to, like, get her words right. Erika, and y'all think I have a drinking problem. Well, we can get to that one later on. Garcelle, oh. Erika, ma'am. Now she's like on Garcelle. Sutton never really does get to finish her thought because we have moved on. Diana, do you have a drinking problem? Garcelle, no, I don't have a drinking problem. Erika, neither do I. But you tried to push it. And Garcelle goes, yeah, I thought you might because there were so many instances where you were out of control. Erika, 3. Yeah, in like 3 weeks. God. Then Erika goes, I told you exactly what I was going through, but you tried to push that false narrative that I have a problem. Time out. I don't recall Garcelle being at your house when Rinna and Mikey gave you the come to Jesus talk about drinking and mixing your meds and it not being a good idea. Was that whole scene directed by Garcelle Bouvet? Did she get directing credits on that one? Because I didn't see that. She wasn't actually in that scene, but, you know, maybe, who knows? And Garcelle said, all I said was that you needed to work out your medicine and alcohol ratio. Erika, I did. And Garcelle's like, when I had drinks with you, I told you then I was worried about you. Erika, are you though? Garcelle, yeah. Erika, if I had a problem, you would be the last person to know. Because these women are all the closest to me. Did that little sweep of the fingers include Sutton and Cherie too? What about Teddy? Teddy's still line dancing, by the way. She's with Forrest and Victoria. Anyway, after Erika says, you'd be the last person to know, I'm closer to all these ladies, Garcelle said, I know, God, you guys say that almost every other day. Erika, what I mean is, they would probably notice something before you and pull me aside and say, hey, is everything okay? What's going on with you? Am I in Twilight Zone here? Rinna did just that. At least that's what you told Garcelle. Are you forgetting that? And why isn't Garcelle saying, when we were having drinks together, you told me that Rinna called you on the carpet and told you this, you know, it's got to stop. You need to watch the drinking. Okay. I'm frustrated right now that she's pretending that nobody thinks that she had a drinking problem. Except Garcelle. Erika thinks Garcelle went to everybody else to talk about Erika. We get a flashback that was a little misleading because, for example, the dinner that Garcelle had with Dorit. I thought Dorit asked first, do you think Erika's going to drink at the wine tasting party? They were talking about going to that. And I thought it was Dorit that first said, do you think Erika's going to drink? And Garcelle was replying and saying, well, I saw her and she told me she can only have 1 drink. Either way, everybody was talking about it, but only Garcelle seemed concerned. Until after the Christmas party when Rinna talked to her about her drinking. Are we really all just supposed to forget that happened? That's frustrating. So Garcelle says that, you know, she was concerned and Erika said, is that to make Erika look bad? Or is that genuine concern? Well, that pissed Garcelle off because her reply was, I don't need to make you look bad. You can do that all on your own. Rinna, Dorit, Kyle. Yeah, you guys are also shocked when it turns out that that insult thing is a two-way street. Yeah, so this party, all I can say is thank God we had fresh limes and lemons, Rinna. Good call on that. Good thing you were demanding about it. Some poor intern had to probably race to whatever was nearby for fresh lemons and limes and had them all cut up and at the bar, ready and waiting, and I bet you nobody touched it. Oh, maybe Dorit. Carcass out, please. So yeah, Garcelle says you can do that all on your own. And Erika's reply is, and you can make yourself look like a liar right now. Okay. I guess lying that she was actually concerned. Garcelle, so now you're calling me a liar? Erika, it just makes sense. Like you had an ulterior motive, or like you wanted me to have a problem. Garcelle, you having a problem doesn't affect my life in any way, whether you have one or don't. Erika, and it shouldn't. It's my life to build or destroy. Garcelle, it sounds like you got that impression from the other ladies. Dorit, I told her you said, aren't you concerned? And I said she's never done anything like that before. And you said, don't be Kyle, don't be Kyle, don't be Kyle. I mean, that's just sound advice. Kathy, ladies, we're supposed to lift each other up. Dorit, who's still pissed at Kathy for the homeless and toothless comment. Kathy, we have to have real conversations too. Kyle, listen, Erika and Sutton, there's a love-hate thing going on there. And you guys probably need to start over. So Sutton goes, Erika, I'm going to call you tomorrow. Erika, I'm going to call you and I'm going to explain just one-on-one, just between you and me. Erika, please don't. She's trying to connect with you. Please don't. Okay. I think Sutton looks pretty hurt. Maybe I'm reading into that, but she just kind of looks down then. And Kyle's like, well, okay. Kyle, you can't say, Erika, that's mean. Go ahead, try it. Why make Garcelle defend Sutton all the time? Dorit, don't you think that was mean that Erika said, please don't call me? Don't you think that was mean? Shouldn't you say, Erika, she's trying? Shouldn't you guys say something like that in Sutton's defense, or no? No, that was fine. Kyle, I don't know. I don't think she's afraid of Erika, but like, she definitely wants to be in the cool kids group. But to just like leave that hang and not call Erika out, I don't know. Anyway, Kyle's just like, okay, well, did everybody get some clarity tonight? Yeah. Anyway, everyone's kind of leaving, and Kathy leans over to Garcelle and says, boy, did I get snapped at about the Toothless and Homeless Association. Now it's an association. Before, it was a foundation. Anyway, she's like, what difference does it make? Toothless and homeless, homeless and toothless? I'm going to be calling you tonight. Toothless and homeless, homeless or toothless. Toothless and homeless, homeless and toothless. And Garcelle's like, I'm not taking your call. And that is where this episode ends, you guys. Before I do the viewer mailbag, I'm going to be off next week because there's no new episode. So then in 2 weeks will be episode 16. And I think it's, the Aspen trip is starting. So we'll see how that goes. So 2 weeks from now, I'm going to also have 2 book recommendations because I should be finishing reading those. And also, I'm thinking about, you guys can let me know in the comments if you want this or not. I'm thinking about reading out loud a dramatic reading of the meanest comment I ever got. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to read that. But I'll be doing the book reviews and that, if you want, in 2 weeks. For now, I'm going to answer a couple questions for you guys. The first one, and I don't want this to be all down and depressing, but this kind of relates to last week when I was talking about mental health. Yo Diggity Dog asked, how has your anxiety manifested itself? So when I realized this was an issue for the first time, I thought I was having a heart attack. And it went for testing and all that kind of stuff, stress tests and everything. And it turns out that was a panic attack. So that was the first time I had ever had one. I didn't know what was happening, but I'll explain what I was feeling. It starts with my heart just races, and I can almost just kind of feel it pounding, almost to the point where I look down and I want to see if I can see my hand moving, because that's how hard my heart is pounding. This can be triggered by nothing. I can be sitting next to my husband, we're watching TV, and then this is happening, and I don't know why it's happening. So along with that, I get a little lightheaded. It's kind of dizzy. Now when I can feel it, I can do kind of breathing exercises to just really try to slow my breathing. And I do that, breathe in for 7 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, and breathe out for 8 seconds or whatever that is. You know, it doesn't have to be exact, but just the idea of counting in your head is you're forcing your breathing to slow. So I do that, and that helps. But anyway, to answer your question, that's how it manifests for me. I don't know if it's different. It probably is different for everybody. But yeah, that's what mine is. Okay, the next question is from Maxine T. And she asks, how old are you? Too personal? No, it's not too personal. So my birthday is September 1st, which by the time you guys are seeing this is only a little over a week away, and I'll be 61. And the last question is from L. Calvert JD, who asks, what lighting do you use? I'm curious what your setup is for YouTube. Most people are surprised by this, but I only have ever filmed on my iPhone, and I still do. I've never really felt like I needed to buy a camera, and the lights I use, 2 umbrella lights on either side of my phone that are lighting me this way. I don't think umbrella lights are quite right for this. I think they're more for still photography, but I don't know what I'm doing really, and I just bought them on Amazon, so I've just been kind of winging this on my own. So that's how I have the lighting set up. My biggest expense right now has been this Rode microphone, because I do think sound is important. You know, I care more about if you can hear me and if I sound clear or not than I do if you can see me, because, you know, I did just tell you I was 61. I'm in the Elizabeth Taylor White Diamonds phase. Let's put some Vaseline on that lens. Anyway, so I have that set up, and then my computer is right here next to me, and the microphone is hooked into GarageBand, and I'm just in front of this green screen. I'll insert a little footage in here of what this looks like. I'm in one of the bedrooms in the upstairs of my new house, and this one we have, it's like our media room. This is where I do my YouTube. This is where my husband does his music. So that's it. That is it for me. Thank you guys for all the questions. I really appreciate it. Just feels good that you guys are interested in me. Oh, before I forget, I've been meaning to do this since I told you guys about my hair thinning. So many of you have come up with like suggestions. I have a doctor's appointment on the 13th, so I'm going to ask about my thyroid. I'm going to check my iron levels, and some of the products you suggested I use. I'm definitely going to look into those too. So thank you guys a lot. That was, I feel very supported. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already done so. If you liked this particular video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to leave a comment down below. I love to hear from you guys. Leave your questions down below if you have anything that I haven't answered that you're wondering about. That's it. I love you guys. I will see you next time. Bye.